So Dr. Oatis, we still have people signing into the chat, and thank you everybody for signing back in. It is 11:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. Many of you were here this morning for Dr. Oatis's keynote, so I won't do the full introduction that I did this morning, but just in case there are new people who are joining us for this small group networking session, I just want to let you know that Dr. Pam Oatis is a pediatrician here in the Toledo area and has been for 30 years. She's been serving Central City families through the Family Care Center here and really helped to link families to medical services, palliative care, and family counseling using an approach called hand-in-hand parenting. So Dr. Oatis, feel free to add anything else you'd like, but I'm going to turn it over to you at this point.
Thank you, Christy, very much. And I will say that I have also spent 30 years referring children to all of you in as many ways as I have been able to. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for what you have done for thousands of children and families. So our networking today, the team was, again, incredibly creative for how we figure out how to do networking on Zoom. We can't gather around tables like we're used to, or in pods standing in the room. So we are going to have a chance to do listening circles today. So again, we will be put into some breakout rooms and we will get a chance to practice the listening partnership guidelines with a group of people. There will likely be 4 or 5 to a room based on how many people we have, the number of rooms. Michelle is going to figure that out as she has been so beautifully. And again, our attention makes a huge difference. Be sure everyone gets an equal turn in your particular room. And remember confidentiality. It really does create safety. So I would suggest when you get into your breakout room, look at how many of you there are and know the number of minutes that we have to divide up, and divide that number. It should be about 5 minutes each, but I want some flexibility depending on your group size. And someone volunteer to be the timer so they can be sure that everyone gets a turn. And when the first person who volunteers to talk first, congratulations to whoever that is, when their turn is finished, they finish their sentence, and that turn, the talking turn, moves to the next person. And that first talker would choose a primary listener. Everyone's attention is important, but one person would be the primary listener. You don't need to say anything except tell me more or tell us what that is like. And then the person who talked first will be the next person's primary listener. So we'll just go on down so that everyone has an opportunity to be that primary listener. When the time is finished, there should be, a minute left or so, minute and a half left. Just go around your circle so that each person can say what mattered, what they want to remember, what was good about being together. And so that will close it up, and then we'll all come back to this group again for a brief closing that I will say Kathy Oakley is going to do. I'm still at work with my other job, so I have to be on a 12 o'clock meeting, so I won't be able to be here for that closing. But I look forward to hearing from Kathy and others what your comments are, because we'd like to just hear a couple of, again, a couple of comments, and you can certainly write those in the chat as well. So any questions? Timing, and confidentiality are important for these to work. And if you're having difficulty with audio, I hope you have found the phone call in so that you can call and be sure and hear and be heard. So,
Dr. Oatis, how much time do you want us to have for the whole breakout room?
well, if we come back with, I don't know, like 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, really 5 minutes should be enough for the closing. I'd like people, so that will give us 5, yeah, we'll have close to a half an hour in your groups. So
Okay.
At your time, I don't want to tell you exactly the number of minutes because I don't know exactly how many people will be in your room, but it should be around 5 minutes each. You can do that division. So you have 30 minutes and divide it equally.
So whenever you're ready, if everyone wants to take a look at the slide to make sure you know what you're going to be talking about and the purpose for the breakout room, just so you want to take a few notes.
These are some prompts, but again, anything you would like to do.
Are you ready for me to send them out to their rooms?
Totally. Enjoy.
Okay, here we go.
How was that for people? Could a few of you just share what was good about that experience without sharing what anybody else said necessarily, keeping their confidence?
It was good hearing like people's, how they got into like early childhood, how they got to where they are today.
So hearing people's stories, that's great. Thanks, Larissa.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone
Also, yeah, so we figured out that you share both the negative and the positive. What may seem just purely negative, there's always something in there that's a good thing as well.
Beautiful. Another comment?
I like just hearing the thought process, you know, and just being able to both as the talker to be able to just kind of process out loud and just kind of get into it and get a little deeper into like just an initial comment or something. Like it starts initial, but then you just go a little deeper and a little deeper. So that's what I appreciate about this, is that you have that opportunity to hear others go deeper and kind of have their ahas, or you as the talker get to do that.
And the longer the session, the deeper you can go. And it's funny, I've used this tool numerous times, and you're right, it starts pretty superficial, but as you start talking, then feelings can start to emerge. And that's when it becomes therapeutic. That's when it becomes really, really helpful. I'll ask one more question. Was it easier this time because now you've had practice?
I didn't find it easier. I think the more I was talking, the more eerie I began to feel like, wow, wait a minute, I get to really talk about these things. I was feeling almost uncomfortable at one point and, you know, I think I'm just not used to having someone really attentively listen to me and quietly, you know, not say anything, but just take it in. And so it kind of made me second guess myself, like, wow, I'm really feeling these things and I'm really able to talk about it. So I almost began to get a little uncomfortable with it after a while.
Anybody else, either comfort or discomfort that you can, or you'd like to share?
I felt like comfortable talking about myself and about how I got where I am today, about everything. So, yeah.
Great. Well, look around. Do you have gallery view on? Beautiful faces. It's so exciting. One of the groups that I was in, the two of us we've made a commitment to get together and do this regularly, because there's a lot of feelings going on with us about the world today. And we're going to give ourselves that gift of practicing together. So I want you to leave this session knowing that this is a tool. The other thing that occurred to us as we were talking is that, I don't know how y'all are feeling, but I really miss being in my office because I can have a moment where I'm feeling, I'm struggling with something or I'm feeling frustrated, and I can walk to the office next door and I've got a warm body who's going to listen to me and is going to be helpful to me. But we don't really have that right now for those of us working at home. So these connections are really important for our mental health, as some of the sessions this morning talked about. So it's a tool you can put in your toolbox, and you're going to have a chance for the rest of the day to connect with other people and maybe, you know, continue to use this as a tool. And I think Heather is going to break us out for lunch. Have a great lunch.